I don't know why every week I find it so surprising that it works. Hi, welcome to your Tuesday Live. I am your holistic nutrition practitioner. My name is Luka Simmons and I'm based in the foothills of southern Alberta, the land of Treaty 7. Welcome to this Tuesday Chit Chat. We do this every Tuesday at 1 p.m. I think next week there will not be a live, although that might change. I'm just waiting on one last little detail here, but welcome to this week's free chat. I do one of these a week. If you are just chancing upon it for the first time, I send a link out to my weekly newsletter. So if you want notices of these, I encourage you to sign up and add your name to my weekly newsletter. That way you will always have it delivered to your inbox and it won't go missing. I always save them all to the YouTube page as well. You can find a link to that wherever, well, through my website. Find it at lukasimmons.com. It's the easiest. Everything is there. Okay. We are talking sleep all month long. We've been talking about sleep, and we've got one last week to talk about it. First things first, if you are struggling with sleep, it really bears repeating that you should get that stuff checked out. Not sleeping well can be an indicator of so many different things. So get things ruled out first. When you're ready to look at how food, nutrition, and some of those lifestyle pieces can fit in the picture, then hit me up. Okay, we have a sleep class coming up in November 17th. If you want to join us for that, it's a live only, no replays kind of deal. It's all happening online. So in these COVID times, everybody can join in. Doesn't matter where you are. Yeah, 7 p.m. Alberta time on Tuesday, November 17th. Okay. Here's what we're going to talk about today. The role of light when it comes to circadian rhythm and getting in that adequate sleep. And more than adequate sleep, let's call it good quality and good quantity sleep. Yeah, let's optimize your sleep function. Light has such a really big part to play in this. It's fascinating to me, the role of if we just take a step away and look at how our ancestors would have done things and moved through the world, how quickly we have changed things in the last 100 years, and how it's impacted us. So the hints to returning to regular function of the body, I'm not saying we all need to go live on the farm and we all need to unplug and only eat real food and spend all day in the kitchen. That's not what I'm saying. What I am saying is that there's wisdom to be had in seeing how our ancestors moved through their days and what kind of impact it had on their physiology and their functioning, the biochemistry of their bodies every day. When it comes to sleep, this is one of those really important things. The farther and farther we separate ourselves from nature, the more we're having a hard time sleeping. This is so interesting to me, and it's nowhere more apparent than where light plays a role in how we sleep, in our sleep quality and how we can fall asleep if we sleep through the night, if we're waking up rested in the morning, and all the biochemistry that goes into all of those players. So you have, first things first, let's clarify, you have a circadian rhythm. Everyone has a circadian rhythm. Babies start to develop it around month 3, and then things can change and play with it as we age, as things happen in our life, what have you. But everybody, for all intents and purposes, has a circadian rhythm. Now, your circadian rhythm is essentially your body's internal clock. Rarely, if ever, does anybody ever have a true 24-hour clock. Everybody's internal clock does a recalibration attempt every day, throughout the day. And that recalibration attempt is such a crucial piece of why you're having a hard time sleeping or why your sleep is interrupted. That circadian rhythm is an intricate component of your metabolic health. Now, metabolic health is how your body functions, how it takes in nutrients, how it utilizes them, and how you get through the day for making energy, for your brain to function, for your hormones to be balanced, for your blood sugars to be balanced. And all of that is at the core of reducing inflammation. And the circadian rhythm and where your body perceives it is in its 24-hour clock of the day is one of those really key pieces that we need to work on. When I see clients one-on-one, we work on balancing hormones and blood sugars through food. But we are also working at it through some lifestyle hacks to really tap into that super smart knowledge that everybody would have had that lived in pretty close tandem with nature. And that separation we've had in the last 100 years with how quickly we are changing how the world works is actually starting to kibosh that process. And that's registering in how well we can sleep and if we're rested or not. So that whole circadian rhythm clock is the piece that we're addressing. And the role that light plays is pretty huge. Now you have photoreceptive cells everywhere in your body. Every cell actually has the capacity to understand and register how much light is in the room, in your area where you are. The most important part here is your eyes. Your eyeballs, they will register what kind of light there is in the environment. And you need to do that in order to register in your body where you are in the 24-hour clock. And that 24-hour clock, most people will have a little bit less than 24. Some people have more than 24 hours. And every day your body works at regulating it and resetting that 24-hour clock. And to do that, you need the photoreceptor cells in your eyes to register where the light is. Whether it is overcast, whether it's bright outside, whether it's raining or snowing or there's stuff going on in the environment, doesn't matter. We need that function, and we need to receive those signals on our eyeballs so that the eyeballs can send the message to our pineal gland in order to know, do I need to start making melatonin because sleep's coming soon? Or do I need to produce more cortisol because we need to be awake and at 'em and ready for the day's events? And that happens through your eyes. Here's some of the stuff that can contribute to this and part of the problem. We're indoors a lot. We don't get out. Yeah, and also, like, I'm not going to lie. Today is nice, but it's been a little bit cold here over the last few weeks. Do you want to spend all day outside? Oh, probably not. But getting access to that natural light and how it hits your eyeballs plays such an important role in resetting that 24-hour clock. And there's a few factors that you need for it to happen. One of the key pieces is you need a very important vitamin called vitamin A. Vitamin A in animal form is called retinol. Oh my God. Do I talk about this nutrient all the time? Yes. Is it my favorite nutrient? I'm pretty sure it is. Retinol is a fat-soluble version of vitamin A. It's the animal version of vitamin A. It's why I will always tell you to eat butter. It's why I will always tell you to save all of the fat on your steak and your pork chops. Anywhere you have an animal that's been allowed to live as an animal should, even conventionally raised animals, products will actually have vitamin A in them. So these stored vitamins are stored in an animal's fat. When we consume them, they provide our body with some of those nutrients we need. Key amongst them, this vitamin A helps your cells in your eyes register the light to send the message to your pineal gland to reset the clock. So I hope you're well able to digest your fats. I hope you're also eating butter and not margarine, because I'll tell you, margarine has no vitamin A. And if you're waiting on your sweet old bod to take the vitamin A from beta carotene, like, say, pumpkins you're eating, and to change it into the animal version, cross your fingers, honey, you might be waiting for a while. That is one of those conversions that is really tricky if your body's got a lot of other stuff on the go. It's one of the reasons animal products are a gift. And we need to see them as such. And we need to be grateful and bring that piece in. It's one of the reasons in vegan diets, actually, one of the hard pieces is, where do you get that vitamin A? B12 is another one. Like, some of those nutrients that you can only find in animal versions are tricky to find. And this animal version of vitamin A, well, if your body's well, you can make those plant versions turned into animal versions. But if you have any type metabolic stuff going on, inflammation going on, chronic disease, autoimmune conditions, or if your liver is like, I got enough to do, and your thyroid's like, oh my God, can we nap yet? Then you're having a hard time making that conversion. So don't wait for the conversion. Look for the animal version of vitamin A. Eat some butter. Eat ghee if you can't tolerate butter. You can also find it in things like liver. You can also find vitamin A in, where else can you find? Eggs. Yeah, egg yolks. Super great. And in most animal meats. Now here's one of the things that kiboshes this whole process. Glasses. I sort of alluded to this in a video I did yesterday morning, and I forgot to finish my thought. Glasses, while they're brilliant and help us to see so we don't trip, Lately, there's a bunch of coating on them. You can see it if I shine my, there's that purple coating. They call it Surf Coat 99, or they used to. So the coating's great because it prevents glare. Great, thanks. Do you know what else the coating does? It reduces the light and those triggers that your eyeballs need to go, oh my God, it's daytime. So right now, I am blocking that natural light from coming and hitting my eyes. So I'm not saying go outside and stare at the sun directly. But what I am saying is, if you struggle with sleep, if you have a hard time getting to sleep, staying asleep, or you're not rested in the morning, one of those easy tips you can do is to take your glasses off, head outside in the morning, in that first hour of being up, and get a cup of tea, a cup of something delicious, a coffee, I don't care. Do what you want. Elixir, whatevs. Go outside and enjoy it outside with the light, that natural light hitting your eyeballs. That kickstarts the cleanup of your pineal gland to make it work better. And that whole process needs that vitamin A, needs the direct contact of light to your eyes. Well, direct. Indirect light is totally fine. So if you're reading your book or you're doing something, sure, I suppose you could sort of do this and tend to whatever it is you're doing so you can still get a bit of light. Or you can also just take it easy. Allow yourself a little 10-minute break. The world will go on. Take that short time to go outside in that sun in hour one of being up. It's one of those tactics that I share with clients in order to help reset that circadian rhythm. There's so many more tips and tricks that we can get into. I'm trying to keep these videos to 15 minutes. I had that was only the first of 3 points I was going to talk about, and then other things that we were going to get into so that you know what can throw your circadian rhythm off. I was also going to get into how your circadian rhythm is tied to your microbiome. I'm going to post a link later to dive into it if you're interested in learning more about it on the Facebook feed. So if you want to read a bit more on some of the science behind why it's so important to get natural light on your body and the impact it can have on your microbiome, your circadian rhythm and the light and how you are in your 24-hour clock, where you are in the world, how your body perceives it, has a really big sway in how all of these things work. The more we divorce ourselves from nature, the more we're getting away from the tips and tricks that help things happen in the body that we don't even know yet. Guys, we are not apart from nature. We are nature. We are indeed a very integral piece of it. And our role is very important. So more than anything, if I can just plead with you to get into nature, get outside. Doesn't matter the time of day. I say in the morning, but do it over the course of the day. Your eyes will register the amount of light and where you are in that 24-hour clock. And that is one of the first steps in helping your body understand where you are. The whole tying you into geography and how the world works is deeply embedded in the light levels and how you interact with your local environment. So get to know your local spots. Get outside in nature. Go play. I'm getting up to my 14 minutes. We're just about done. So I'm going to wrap it up. Listen, I have a whole class on how to get through sleep and how to improve sleep. And the key piece to all of this is working on that circadian rhythm piece. We're doing a full 2-hour dive into this on November 17th. I've already got some people registered for the class, so we still have lots of spots left. You can register for it. The registration is currently open. Find that in the link on my main feed or through my website, or I will post it in the comments below. If you're watching this on YouTube, it'll be there. If you're watching this on Facebook, it'll be there. If you're watching this on Instagram, then you'll find it all through the link and profile. Okay, other piece to this. If you suspect that there's stuff going on at the gut, if sleep is troublesome, gut can help. I'm doing a gut loving boot camp. We kick off this Saturday, 6 weeks, group program, $99, super great deal, lots of info to get you started on putting those pieces in place. I look forward to connecting with you. If you need help, reach out. Let's get together and chat and start putting together what your roadmap can look like for you, okay? So we can get you feeling better and having that good sleep. Thanks for tuning in, everybody, and we'll see you next week. Salut, à bientôt!